here we go. Keep forgetting that part. Okay, 1 second. Boy, this thing takes a long time. I'm trying to see what's live and what's also us. So, okay, very good. Okay, here we go. The road to reopening. Okay, so you can tell I'm having tech difficulties today. I don't know what's going on. There's a gremlin crawled into something and it just won't stop. It's just. So for everybody who was here with us last week, oh yes, now I'm breathing. For everybody who was with us here last week, we are going with Model 1A. It has been provisionally approved by the district review team, and that means that students will be either students will have decided their parents have decided they will stay home and learn remotely, or they will do in-person, which we call blended, and they will be in either group A or group B. And as you can see, the groups go in person in school 3 to 2 times a week. So if you just look where it says right there, group A for that first week goes 3 days, and then the following week, group B goes 3 days. And when they're not in school, they are doing remote learning at home as well. Okay, so some in-person concerns. I know a lot of people have some questions. We were getting air conditioning units installed before all of this happened, and they are trying to get it all completed by the first day of school. When the pandemic began in March, they slowed things down. They had already started doing the electrical work, but they are doing the electrical work and they're almost done, and then they are going to install the physical air conditioning units. The custodians have 2 electrostatic cleaners. These are the backpack things. You may have seen Ms. Boone had posted something on Instagram and Twitter. There was something on the news. It's these things they wear on their backs, and they spray the rooms with it, and they'll be spraying the classrooms every day at the end of the day. And that is to disinfect, and it's a long-lasting solution. The only thing we can't do is we can't have any paper left on the desk because it'll get wet, but that's just a little thing we have to make sure we take care of. Okay. Now, here's another thing that I need everybody to be on board with, parents, are tech issues. All students will need to have activated their New York Schools account. Now, if your child had summer school, you know about this. They had to have this account. These accounts have been around for 2 years now. They rolled it out 2 years ago, and a lot of parents, some did it, some didn't. But we had Pupil Path, so there was not a reason to do that. However, 8th grade parents soon learned that when they wanted to do their high school applications, they needed to have this account if they wanted to see their information and to also do it online themselves. So now this isn't an option anymore. Every parent needs to get that New York Schools account. The link is on the school website. I'll make it a little clearer. It was up there for summer school. And you can also contact Ms. Boone, our parent coordinator, if you have trouble. And all you really need to know is your child's OSIS number, their ID number, and their date of birth. And every parent has an account as well. Some of you I know already have it, but that's very important. Okay. And it's very important because we will no longer be using Pupil Path, okay, as we switch to the New York Schools account. And the reason, there's a few reasons for this. I know Pupil Path has been very frustrating for some people lately. There's been some glitches, not everybody, but it has been an issue. You know, they've become very big, and sometimes when you get big, it's hard to manage a lot of schools. But we have had our issues for the last year or two with them, and now with the switch with the New York City Schools account, it'll just get too confusing, because then we're going to be asking people to have almost 4 or 5 different accounts to access information. It becomes confusing. And the important issues, now, especially with Teach Hub, and where the students, access different apps and things from the DOE, you need that New York City Schools account. And that account also has the grades and attendance and other things like that, like Pupil Path did. Here's another thing, so we can not have any of those questions tonight. The specialized high school admission test will require you to have registration. So I know everybody is very excited to come to the school because they think I'm handing out applications, which I'm not. And I'm sorry for that, but I'm not. Things have changed, I'm sorry to say. Everything has been online now. So you're going to have to register online. Now, again, part of this was, we really kind of sometimes coddle and baby a little the students and the families. And again, this was something that was supposed to have been done online 2 years ago. I didn't agree with the way it rolled out, so we were very open to doing things in person. Last year, the same thing, but the writing was on the wall. So this is year 3. You're going to have to access this account. We'll of course help you. We're not leaving you on your own, but we can't fill out the forms for you anymore because we're not physically going to probably be able to do that. So you're going to have that New York City Schools account. Okay. All right. So what do we know? Well, we still know September 10th is the first day of school. And parents have the choice of blended or remote learning. And right now, oops, look at that. Sorry. Parents have the choice of blended or remote. We currently have 363 families that have signed up for complete remote learning. Blended learning 86 is what everybody's going to get if you didn't want remote learning. So if you don't want total remote learning, you don't need to do anything. But in the beginning, when they put the survey up, that's why that number hasn't changed since the first week we got the information. Currently, there's 440 parents that completed the survey. And again, if you look, originally on August 10th, which was the Monday after the deadline, we had 374. And since then, we've had, almost 75 additional registrations. And if you work in the DOE, that's been a problem. So, but listen, better now than later. Okay, my mouse has just decided it doesn't like me, I think. Okay, all right, so back to this, okay. Ms. Rivera, maybe for us viewers in Espanol, I'm sorry, hold on a second. This is so weird. You know what? Let's try. Hold on. Okay, now the mouse is back. Hold on a second. All right. It's just I can't. It's you're trying to do something the right way, and it just. Okay. Are you okay? I think I unmuted you, Miss Rivera. Did I ask I didn't. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Are you there?
Yes.
All right, let me do this again.
Okay.
I guess if I see the problem. If I don't share the entire desktop, I can't use my mouse.
Oh.
Right, so hold on. and, you know, whatever. Okay, there we go. So, okay, so these are some things people wanted to know. We know a little more about. Okay, so now school will start at 8:30 a.m. for students and end at 2 p.m. That's 5.5 hours of instructional time. So the school day for students coming into the building, and remote is a different thing, but we'll figure that out. They should also be doing things on that time frame. But physically coming into the building, the school day starts at 8:30 and ends at 2 p.m.
Las clases van a empezar el 10 de septiembre. Las clases empiezan a las 8:30 de la mañana para todos los alumnos y terminan a las 2 de la tarde. Tardarán 5.5 horas, o sea, 5 horas y media de instrucción diariamente.
Okay.
Do you want me to do each one, or do you?
Oh, no, yeah, and then after, I'm sorry, I got this right. Okay, so students will not change classes with the exception of physical education. Teachers will travel to the classroom. You know, for sixth grade students, this probably isn't that big a difference, but for middle school students, we used to travel, but this year, I mean, when you're in school, students will not change classes, only the teacher will.
Este año los niños no van a hacer cambio de clases como usualmente hacen. Los niños que van a entrar en sexto año, esto va a ser un poquito más familiar, siempre van a estar en su salón de clase, con la excepción de su clase de educación física o lo que reconocemos como gym. Los maestros de educación física van a viajar o van a ir al salón de clase a donde están los alumnos. Los alumnos este año no harán cambio de clase como usualmente hacen cada periodo.
Students will eat lunch in their classroom during an instructional period. There will be no recess. So that means students, they're having lunch at a point in the day, but it might be during math class, it might be during art class, it might be during English class, but there is no one period for lunch anymore.
Okay. Los alumnos van a almorzar durante alguna clase, algún periodo de clase. Puede ser la clase de matemática, puede ser la clase de ciencias. Van a almorzar en algún punto, pero no va a ser lo usual donde van a comer a la cafetería y después van al recreo. No va a haber recreo, van a básicamente comer y trabajar durante un periodo de clase.
All right, next one. Oh, now what happened? Okay. Students will still have physical education class, and we will attempt to hold those physical education classes outdoors as often as possible.
Los estudiantes continuarán teniendo la clase de educación física. Vamos a hacer el esfuerzo de mantener las clases afuera, en el patio, lo más seguido posible.
Students will not use the locker rooms to change into their physical education uniform. They can wear their uniform to school on that day that they have gym.
Los alumnos no van a usar los cambiadores del gimnasio para cambiarse a su uniforme de educación física. Ellos tendrán permiso de usar el uniforme de educación física en el día que tienen su clase de gym.
A school supply list will be sent out in a few days. The list this year will be very simple to reduce the amount of things students need to bring to school.
En un par de días, la lista de útiles escolares va a ser mandada. La lista ha sido simplificada para hacer las cosas o reducir las cosas que se van a comprar y las cosas que los niños tienen que traer a la escuela.
All right, hold on, let me just check. I think that was, what is going on? Great. Hold on, I don't know, my mouse, I lost my mouse. Okay, sorry about this. Okay, and then let's end that. And put that there. Okay, I'm sorry. Oh, I don't know what that's all about. Okay. I'm just going to put up the boy. There we go. Put that information. Am I sharing? I think so. Yeah. Hold on. I'm going to put up the Zoom information if people want to join the meeting to ask any questions. So again, this is kind of what we know so far. Now, for parents of sixth graders that may be watching or joining, the supply list, the reason we're not putting something out, usually all this gets mailed home at the end of the year, or, you know, we have an orientation and things like that. You know, we're known for our orientations. I will say they're very nice. You know, it's a very lovely couple of hours. We're not going to be doing that this year physically. And we're still really trying to get clear guidance of what we're doing. Okay. So I understand again that everybody is a little frustrated, but this is where we're kind of at right now. So the supply list is really just going to tell you right now, it's making sure you have pens, pencils, some paper to write on, and it's nothing that we won't have at school. So we're not doing this. I need a 3 binder that's 1.5 inches and angled at 45 degrees and has a plastic flap and all that, you know, laminated folders, boxes of tissues. None of this stuff is happening. Okay, so that's why I'm telling you, you don't have to really worry about it. Our big thing is trying to get technology in everybody's hands. You want to get your child an iPad, go for it. You know, a laptop, something like that. That's where I think you should devote any available funds you might have. I would put towards that. But the pen and paper days might be behind us. And again, I've got plenty of notebooks I can give anybody that's at school, pens. We're not going to have to worry about that. Okay, all right. With that, I'll leave that up there for another second. And let me just see, sorry. We are planning to still do the Regents for algebra and living environment for 8th graders. That is still the plan. However, we do not know if we're going to have exams yet. So we need to wait on that, but that is the plan.
You see what I'm saying?
So we're planning to do that. It is I'm sorry, that's you. Okay. Okay. The Gmail accounts. Okay, let me stop doing that now. The Gmail accounts. The reason they weren't working is Ms. Price is updating everything, and that takes a little while. So you have to remember, we weren't, you know, the summer's the summer. So we weren't expecting really many students to have need of their Gmail accounts in the summer. And it brings up a point with parents, and we will be reaching out to parents in the next couple of days, that I have to kind of advise you, while your child may know more technology than you do, this is something that we're asking for the parents. So when students are joining, and that's fine, they can join a meeting, but the parents are the ones in charge. And I really need to make sure that when we're talking to somebody, via email and online, that we're talking to the adult and not just the child. Because it becomes a situation, and I have to tell you, in my experience, sometimes your children might not tell you the whole story. Okay, and that happened before all of this, so now it becomes even more difficult because of the fact that we're not able to really see each other as much. So while the Gmail accounts will go back online for the seventh and eighth graders, and we will create new ones for the sixth graders that are coming in, because we will be using Google Classroom. But they had to be, Miss Price has to do maintenance on it, so that's why the Google accounts weren't working. All right, okay. All right. How are we going to get our schedules? Our Gmails are not working. And like I said, we'll get your schedules. We'll figure that out. And that's also another way. And you could see it on the New York Schools account. Thank you, Tarima. Yes, you can still use the school iPads. If you receive the school iPad or any iPad, you're going to hold on to that if you're still in the school. Okay. The Google accounts, I'm hoping, will be up by Monday. Again, this takes Ms. Price was also working summer school, and she does have to go through a lot of emails to check things. But Ms. Khan, I will get you Ms. Price's email. Okay. Actually, Ms. Kleiger, do you know Ms. Price's Gmail account?
I can get it right now.
Yeah, and type it into the chat.
Yeah, that's no problem.
Thank you. Okay. All right. Hold on. Okay. Okay. Now, again, I will say that we're going to, what did I do? Sorry. We are going to use the website to post a lot of this information up there. So you keep a check on that. The chancellor, we just put up a letter from the chancellor the other day. And that's where we'll keep a lot of the stuff. Are they still giving out school iPads? I think there is. Yes, Ms. Kleiger, we can put that link up on the school website.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, for the link for that. So we'll put up, I don't believe there's an app for the school's account, but I'm not sure. We can find out about that. It's really a web-based thing, but I think there might be an app. Okay, Ms. Price's email is up there, Ms. Khan. Okay, yes, remote learning will not have a lunch schedule because there won't be lunch. So let me explain this. There'll be physical lunch, meaning you can eat something when you're in person. But there won't be a lunch time. So there's no more cafeteria, there's no more schoolyard, there's no more recess. So it's like a working lunch. So parents understand this when you're sitting at your desk or you're working at a job and maybe you have to eat while you're working. That's what we're going to do in school. So if you're home, it's the same kind of thing because remote's a little different. Okay. We don't, how many students in a class in school? In school, it depends on the size of the room. It's based on social distancing, but the average size, the highest it looks like is maybe 9 to 10, depending on the size of the room. Okay, the school outfits, sixth grade, are white shirt, khaki pants. The Wi-Fi in my school, well, we're going to have to take care of that. We will post things up for We'll post things on the website for tech problems. There's also a tech outreach number that was being used over the summer. To apply for remote learning, the link was, if you go back on maybe some of the social media accounts, the deadline was really August 7th. So I'll try to put another, a more updated link back up there to apply for remote learning, okay? There should be account creation code. You shouldn't need a code. You should just need your child's OSIS number and date of birth. But again, if you email Miss Boone, and her email address is jboone3@schools.nyc.gov. Hold on. She can give you that information. She's the parent coordinator. Okay. Okay. Approximately how far apart will each student be? 6 feet. You know, there's like a 6 feet social distancing, but you know, we will space it out so the students are not. It'll probably be more than 6 feet, because again, they based this on how big the room was and how much space would be around this. So a typical classroom holds 30 kids. So that same size classroom would hold maybe 9 and the teacher, you know, so that's a lot more room and space. Okay, the remote schedule, okay, so we're still waiting for more information on this. And I feel bad that I keep saying this because I know it's not an answer. But when the mayor was on, if you happen to be paying attention, the mayor was on yesterday where he said, you know, they're kind of figuring this out as they go along. And they also said it would take about a month, you know, to get everything, principals going. And what that means is we still haven't really gotten a number of how many parents want remote learning. And a perfect example was a parent asked, how do they sign up? The portal to do that was open for about 3 weeks. The deadline was open for longer than that, I think. And the deadline was August 7th. Since then, I've had 75 additional parents fill out that survey. And I'm not the only one. Yesterday, the Post ran an article that said 40,000 citywide had put in requests after the deadline. So what does that mean? That means that it changes how the programming works. So that's kind of the reason why we can't definitively say how it's going to work yet. I can tell you that students that are home with just remote will be working they will be getting live instruction on certain days. It won't just be here, complete something and I'll check on you. There will be allocated times for live instruction with the teacher, whether that's one-on-one or with several kids. It'll all depend on what your child needs, what the teacher's doing. So it will be different, okay? But I can't tell you a lot much more than that yet. There is a big meeting tomorrow, citywide, with the chancellor and all the DOE employees. Hopefully we'll get a little more information from there. How is my kid going to do online school? Well, I don't know if you were here for the last previous months, but the same way, they will need some sort of computer device. We will be using different online platforms such as IXL and Imagine Learning and different things like that. If you do online, if you do remote learning, you're home. You don't go to school. The only kids that physically go to school are the parents that decided they um, didn't want to come into the building. So so to go back to kind of, let me talk to the parents that are sending their kids to school. Basically, your child is coming every other day. And what'll happen is when we finally know the number of students that are going to be remote, stay home. When we know that number, right now it's 363. By tomorrow, it could be 400. Once we know that number and we can't make any changes anymore, the remaining students that will come to school will be broken up into two cohorts, two groups, Group A, Group B. Okay, so for the first full week of school, let's just say the first day of school, September 10th, is a Thursday. Okay, that would be Group A. And then Friday would be Group B. And then the following full week of school, the Monday would alternate. So the Monday following would be Group A on Monday, Group A again on Tuesday, Group B on Wednesday, Group A on Thursday, Group B on Friday, and then that following week, Group B is on Monday. So it rotates. But this will all be explained in detail for everybody. And then when your child is Group A and they're not in school on Wednesday, they'll be doing remote learning, okay? With the charter school, that won't be a problem. The charter school has their own area of space, so it won't be, they're not gonna get mixed up. No, that's not gonna be a problem at all. Hold on, sorry. Okay. Yes, remote students will still get live instruction. Okay. The big meeting tomorrow, well, I say big meeting because it's the chancellor. I think if you remember when Governor Cuomo said that districts had to meet with families, they had to meet with the teachers. I think this is one of those requirements. So the meeting is the chancellor is holding a meeting for all employees, teachers, principals, school aides, social workers. Everybody works in the city. It's a staff meeting for the entire city. We will still be using Google Classroom for remote because of the fact that the Google Classroom is basically Google Classroom is like a classroom. So you're coming into the classroom, and then once we're in the classroom with a teacher, the teacher gives out assignments. It's just like if you were in a physical classroom, the teacher would say, take out your textbook. You go into a Google Classroom, teacher says, okay, go to your IXL account. So that's what Google Classroom does, or different assignments. So we definitely will have that. Is there any type of plan in place so when you get a definite number of students who are going to remote learning, you can activate the number is always going to change even when the school's open? No, because here's what the chancellor and the regulation has said. If you choose remote learning and we begin the school year, you cannot make a change until after, I think, the first quarter. They haven't given those dates out yet. They've only said that it's going to be in November. So if you choose remote learning, right now I'm saying this, today, August 18th, I don't know what tomorrow brings. But as of right now, if you choose remote learning, you have to stay in remote learning until November. And then if you decide you want to change, then you can change. Now, if you chose blended and you were coming to school, well, then if you want to go into remote learning, like maybe your child, like it's too much, I can't deal with it, you can go into remote. So you can go from in-person to remote like that. But you can't go from remote to in-person until a certain time, okay? We're gonna put the links up on the school website for everything. Okay. Can I get the link? Yes. Oh, thank you. Somebody put that up there. I can't copy that. Okay. That figures. Can I copy it? Hold on. Nope, I can't. Okay. Well, thank you, iPhone X Max, for giving me the remote learning devices link. Okay. Oh, he left already. Okay. Oh, good. Thank you, Ms. Clark. I do not know yet with the school bus information. It's not that there's no plan for remote learning. It's the fact that we do not know how many students. So, So let me break this down in a certain way that everyone understands. Life is like a classroom. I will tell you right now that life does not really change much from when you were in school. It just gets different, it gets a little bigger. But the same things that happen in elementary, middle school, if you deal with it every day, you start to see that it repeats itself just differently, okay? So now the problem is, right now we have a situation where, you know, the Department of Ed was trying, I know everybody, got to be careful what you listen to on TV and who's saying it. They were attempting to get this going, okay? But at the end of the day, there's 1.1 million students in the city. If the Department of Education puts out stuff on Twitter, on their website, on the radio, on TV, sends letters home, puts all this stuff out, and asks for people to give them a response, and only 20% of those 1.1 million people do, that's kind of hard to plan for everybody else. And to then just say, well, too bad for those 80% because they didn't do it. No, it doesn't work that way. So I understand where a lot of people are saying, but it doesn't work that way, unfortunately. So the idea is we want to make it work. And school does not start till September 10th. Okay, so again, while everything that's happened has stressed everybody out, and it's caused a certain feeling in everybody. If none of this had happened, I can tell you right now, you wouldn't have as many parents asking for their child's schedule on August 18th for the first day of school. Okay, because it would be the routine. We're going to put it on Pupil Path a few days before school starts. We're going to have this, and that's how it would go. But this is a different thing, and everybody is very anxious and everybody's very excited, and I get that. But we also have to proceed at a rate that allows us to make good decisions and to not then have to keep going backwards. Okay? All right, so let me try to get back to some of these. The busing, like I said, I don't know. Everybody will be informed of their children's schedules by August 26th. By August 26th. Summer school, I can't really answer any summer school questions for you guys right now. You will be contacted per the method, the way we contact for summer school. When summer school kids are promoted, it's something that it doesn't happen right away. It does take, you will be notified. Okay. Was there a summer school package? No, there was no summer school package. We need to know how many students to let parents, because we need to know how many students are going to be remotely learning. How many days we have to be online class, 5 or less. I'm not sure what that means. But online it will be every day, yes. Remote will be every day. Masks will be worn in the building by all students and staff. And there has been discussion of mask breaks for kids, and also different types of things to address that need. I understand the language barriers and the tech barriers. That's why I'm saying we can't just say that that's what's going to happen. So here's where we're giving the issue. On one end, we have people that have followed everything that they thought they needed to do, and they want a response. But unfortunately, there's other issues. And again, nobody's being judged for these issues. So let me be clear. I'm not judging you. I'm telling you what the reality is, that we can't, the chancellor just couldn't make a decision based on a certain number of people that filled it out. So it's just what it is. It's how a city runs sometimes. And we're just going to have to be a little more patient. Okay. Yes, I know we're going to, again, I understand the dissatisfaction with the remote learning when it first took place. And that is why all of us are trying to make sure that we have things in place to not make the same mistakes. Okay, so I know I keep saying it, I'm asking for patience, but I'm not asking it in for a way where I'm just saying, let's be flexible, let's be patient. I'm saying to you, we don't have another option but to be patient. Okay, because it'll pay off in the end if we are. You know, it's not about me just saying that to say it. I'm being very serious that you need to kind of really let it settle. You know, if you've ever baked a cake, it smells delicious in the oven. And if you go and grab it out because you're hungry and the smell, you're going to do one or two things. You're going to burn your fingers, and the cake is probably not ready, and it's going to be mushy in the inside. And you could put it back in the oven, but no, it's done. It's done at that point. You're not fixing that cake. We're going to be using the NYC Schools account instead of PupilPath. We will contact everybody by phone, email, on the website, letting them know when we will get the schedules out. How do you know if your survey was accepted for remote learning? Well, I actually sent an email to about 399 people on, I think it was August 10th, when they first did the survey, letting them know, because people said they didn't know. Now, here's the problem. I also got about 25 emails back to me saying the email address didn't exist or was incorrect. Now, that's me copying, I didn't sit there and type everybody's email over. I copied it from the file and I emailed everybody. So this is the other thing. I'm getting information. I'm not getting information. People are they entered those surveys and they left out information, and it makes it hard. Okay. But I can tell you this. If you are a parent right now, or a guardian, or anybody, and you're on this call, and at some point you need to find out the information, we'll get it to you, because you will reach out to us. You will go to the website, you will find an email. There's emails here that have been put out. You will email somebody. You'll probably go by the school, and someone will give you some of the information. Okay, but we will first reach out to you. But again, if you don't hear from us for whatever reason, the only reason you wouldn't hear from us is because we don't have the correct information. And if you don't hear from us by August 26th, August 27th shows up and Santa didn't come, Christmas is the 25th, but you know what I mean. If Santa didn't come, then you need to call the North Pole and say what happened. Okay, and in this case, you would be contacting us. But we'll try to get you first. If we don't get you, then you're going to have to let us know, because that means there's some problem there. Okay, Ms. Boone, thank you, Ms. Rivera, for covering all these, and Ms. Kleiger. Yes, you can update your email info with Ms. Boone. So here's I know the person who keeps asking this question about your daughter's transferring. Also understand another thing. I'm very old school. I don't give people's information out over the internets, and I don't give information out over the phone unless I know who you are. And that's to protect the rights of children and the rights of parents. So the thing is, what I need you to do is to contact that email address, jboone3, and at least give us some information, a name, and then we can check that out. Okay. And I'm not trying to ignore your question. I'm just saying that I don't know who you are, and I'm not going to give out anybody's name to anybody until I get a little more information. And that's for your protection. Okay. And that's why I tell people they shouldn't be afraid to give us information, because that information lives and dies with me. Okay. I'm not sure what you mean your email doesn't work no more. You have to give me a little more information, and you should actually email Miss Price. Her email is on this chat. No, Ms. Khan, just we're not using Pupil Path. Other schools will be using Pupil Path. Thank you, Ms. Adelicon, or Mr. Adelicon, I'm not sure. Teachers would appreciate that. Yes, your email was received and you get information in the next few days. And we held the meeting that the second day we were saying the meeting, and there really was no more information to give. And it was also suggested that we hold these meetings. So if you got the email from me, then your child, you registered correctly. Okay, so you don't have to worry about that. But again, it is a process. Your Gmail is not working because nobody's Gmail is working right now. We have to reset it. ID, your ID is the same. Is that Miss Isaac? It's the OSIS number. It doesn't change. So if your child had a New York City schools account, NYC schools account in 5th grade, you're good. That's your account. If you had account from another school, you're good. Okay. Okay, very good. She's giving your case to Miss Monroe. She's the pupil accounting secretary. So she will contact you, or she will contact me. The PPE material is being sent. No, parents are not supplying wipes and disinfectants. Here's what parents are supplying. Here's what parents are supplying. You're making sure your child is well enough to attend school every morning before you send them out of the house. Okay. And if your child has a mask, please send them to school with their mask. That just makes life easier. Because I don't know how many masks they're going to give us. And here's the thing, I just can't hand out masks every day because, you know, I didn't bring it today, or I didn't feel like doing it, because then I could run out of masks. And since basically everybody you can bring your own masks, and that's fine. So if you have that, please make sure your child comes to school every day with the mask. I know they're very designery now. People are wearing all sorts of things with that. But so what I need as far as PPE goes, I need you to make sure that if you're sending your child to school, that your child doesn't have a fever, isn't showing symptoms, and when they come to school, they have their face covering. Okay, Miss Isaac, if you can email Miss Price, whose email's on there, or Miss Boone, we'll take care of that. Okay. Okay, the Gmail you just put up isn't a school Gmail. So I don't know what you mean. Yes, we will update everybody when we do the Gmail accounts to let them know. But what we really need is you to all go on to the New York Schools account, because that's the easiest way for us to communicate with you going forward. And again, the links will be available up there. Okay. The pupil path, it's yes, you can contact Miss Boone for the account information. J Boone 3 at schools at Italio. Okay. Okay. Okay, so again, let me just please upgrade me. I don't. Okay. Okay. Hold on a second. Okay. I just took a picture of that because I'll deal with that on some level. I'll try to figure it out. Okay, is that Jean Damas? I'll see what I can do. Look into it. Okay. Okay. Again, so here's really what I need from everybody. Any preparation for blended learning, we're going to let you know by August 26th what the schedule is, and we're going to give you more information. Okay. So again, that is the hybrid. Hybrid is blended learning. So again, when I'm saying that to be patient, I'm not saying that in a way to like put you off, because I know you've been hearing that from everybody. I'm saying it because it's a reality of it. Okay. Again, like I'm saying, school, our lives kind of don't change a lot. We just get older and the problems get different. But for any of you that have children that, you know, like Thanksgiving or any of these holidays that you might be doing where food is a big thing, and you can't cook a 20-pound turkey in half an hour, or you're going to get food poisoning. Okay. So the thing is, I get that you want things, but sometimes you can't have them as quick as you should like them. And that's just kind of the reality of it. And it's not, again, that nobody did anything, nobody planned. It's really not the case. I know, again, there's people arguing, politicians back and forth, but this is an undertaking, and you want to do it right, because everybody realizes the parents were upset, the students were upset, everybody was very upset for the last 4 months, and they really don't want to start the year off like that. And it's already a little like that. Okay, so we're trying to make sure that when the ball gets rolling, it won't be that difficult to make fixes. Okay, so again, we're getting more information every day. You know, last week I couldn't tell you really what the school time was. You know, I was telling you the school day was the same day. It was 8:20 to 2:40. Now I didn't know what lunch was. Now we know kids are not having recess. Now we know that the teachers are in the school building longer than the students. You know, the kids are only going to be there for 5.5 hours that show up in person. So we know more information. Now we know that the custodians have these special cleaners. You know, we know that the ventilation systems have been fixed. So we know a lot more than we did last week. Do we know everything? No. But we know more. And that's better than nothing. Okay? Just to let you know, help me get into DOE. Very good. Yes, the enrollment. Okay. Okay. iPhone person who's saying about the enrollment, email J Boone 3. I think you already said you did, and then we'll take care of that. Yes, lunch will be grab and go. Can send me okay. Hold on a second. Okay, one more time. This is the email, J. Boone's free for the parent coordinator. Okay. Please email her your questions and, we'll communicate and she'll put the information, especially if it's enrollment. Okay. All right, everyone. Again, as I'll say, as I said last week, for those of you that still don't feel that you have the answers you need, I apologize. Yes, you can email it with your personal email. You must, okay, I get it. Yeah, no, you can email with your personal email. That's what okay. You don't have to use your Google for that. That's fine. You can use your whatever email you have. I should have been clear with that. That's my fault. But again, if you haven't gotten the answers that you wanted, that you needed, and I apologize, because if I had them, I'd give them to you. I'm not stashing answers in the vault. What I got, I give. I don't lose anything by giving out my information. If you did get your questions answered, or at least you're on the right track, that's great, and I'm glad. But again, the goal is to get everybody to a certain level of satisfaction. Okay, that's the goal. So again, we're gonna update that website with all the different things that people are putting the questions on. Just give me a few minutes to do that, and then you can go there, and we'll take it from there. All right, everyone? Okay. All right, again, thank you everyone for coming out tonight. And I'm glad you're more comfortable than yesterday. There you go. Thank you. Then I can sleep a little better tonight. All right, so we'll definitely, and that's the goal, believe it or not. That is my goal every day, to make sure that people feel a little less anxious. All right, so everyone, again, we will have a meeting next week. We'll do these each week until, yes, we will. See, I got you. We're going to have a meeting next week. I'm going to shoot for Monday. And we'll do these every week until you get sick of looking at me. But I'm going to shoot for Monday because it's Tuesday, and I know it's a long time in between the information. So I'll do on Monday, and hopefully we get a lot more info by then. All right, everyone. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Ms. Kleiger. And thank you, Ms. Rivera. Thank you, Mr. Port. And thank you, Ms. Boone, who couldn't be here. But that's, whatever things happen. But everyone have a great night. Thank you so much.